Joining me now is Glenn Jessome, President and CEO at Silver Tiger Metals. Great to see you.
Mark, great to see you. How are you today?
I'm very well, thanks.
Wonderful.
Thanks for being with us. Let's
appreciate
get right into it. The company's advancing the historic El Tigre District in Mexico. You've got a PFS on the open pit. There is a PEA pending for a potential underground. You're planning more drilling. So maybe a little snapshot. Give us an overview.
A little snapshot is, no overnight success stories in this business. So we acquired this asset in 2017. We've raised about 125 million Canadian, from then until now. Bought deal financings, straight up common shares. Majority of that, maybe 100 million of it, from 6 or 7 of the best long-only precious metal institutions on the planet. And they said, get to work. A couple of 100,000 meters later, we're always the same. The first drill hole gets you to a mineral resource estimate, which is really, what do you do with that? You have to then put the economic tests on that, PEA, PFS. Sometimes you can build on PFS like we will with the open pit. And then you build it and you make metal and you make money in an environment like this. We're in the right place at the right time. We've done all the work and we're just ready to break ground on our open pit and PEA coming for the underground, which will follow.
You've got a few mantras. So one is focus, focus, focus.
Yes, it is.
Another one is map it, sample it, get the drill rigs in, drill it. So what's your approach to exploration? How would you describe it?
Well, it's exactly that. And you got to remember, we know from the first time we acquired this asset in 2017, it was 25 kilometers to Sierra Madre. I could have started running around and saying, wow, I've got a district. Let's drill up here. Let's drill 10 kilometers down. No. The old El Tigre mine, 100 million silver equivalent ounces, came out of that in 20 years at an average grade of 2.5 kilos. Do all your work under and around that, and it's going to go very, very well. So what we focused on for these last 7-8 years is all that money, all that drilling I talked about, put it in there and get that to an economic test that will be acceptable to your lenders, which it is, and then build that, and the cash flow from that, which we'll talk about, is incredible. And then you step north, you step south, and then you start to drill and do the exact rinse and repeat, the same thing north and south on other mines on our project, and that's how you get to drill this over the next 10, 20, maybe 30 years.
So you got this 25 kilometer mineralized trend. You're
Yes.
going to head north. You hope to be drilling by Q4
That's
of
right.
this year, and then in the south next year. And you've talked about blue sky potential, but without throwing out huge numbers. What are you thinking about? How big could this be?
Let's come back to that, because you said focus, focus, focus. I'm going to switch the question on a little bit, Mark. I think it's important. Let's talk about those couple of kilometers around the undermine. Where we are with that right now. Okay, let's talk about that. Number one is the PFS for the open pit, which is the first step. We will build, 18 months to build it. I've got Francisco Albalaise, who was my CEO the last 2 years. We took him from Argonaut. He built all of the big open pit heap leaches over the last decade before he joined us for Argonaut. He's going to build it. It's going to be 18 months. Now, what's that look like? It's 86 million CapEx. It's going to have a 9-year mine life. It's only 60% of the ore. We've optimized it. There'll be a pushback after that. All-in sustaining capital on silver, $14. Production, the cost, $12. But the amazing part is, at today's prices, spot prices, and you can see that in our sensitivity tables, 86 million CapEx delivers a project, just the pit, forget the underground, 580 million USD NPV, a 77% IRR, payback is 1.2 years. And over the 9-year mine life, it generates after-tax US free cash flow of $790 million. I challenge anyone to find a better project with a CapEx of 86 million. So when I'm focused, we'll talk about the north and south. That's number one. Yeah. And then number two, sometime before the end of the year, we're going to deliver a PEA, because these deposits in Mexico, the big ones, the districts, are always a big open pit. Easier, nothing's easy in mining. Low CapEx, we talked about, makes a lot of money. I just talked about that. And then you use that to develop the underground portion of the mine. Just in the underground portion of the mine that we've drilled, those 2 kilometers, we already have 113 million silver equivalent ounces. Lots to tend to there for the next 5 or 10 years. And you'll see the first economic test. Remember, drill, MRE, economic. We did all that for the pit, finished, build it on that. The first PEA for the underground will come out. We'll have to move that to PFS. We'll have to move inferred ounces to indicated. But stay tuned for that. It's going to be very exciting. And that's high grade silver underground, not open pit.
And you want to be self-funded, so you want to get the
Absolutely.
production and then use that cash flow to finance the rest.
You know,
right?
let's just say these prices, basically hold. Our model, and I talked about it, we invest 86 million. And I should say, on the PFS, I have the debt. I've not announced it, but I have, I'm very comfortable that I'm going to be able to get about 110 million USD debt and incredibly good terms to build that. And that's based on the PFS. So we've done a lot of work with the lenders on that. That being said, that will generate 85 to 90 million dollars USD after tax free cash flow, 5 million ounces of production. You pay back in 1.2 years. Boy, I've got a lot of money to spend to build the underground. But now we'll get back to your question. Go north and south, and we should talk about that. That's
Sure.
That's the blue sky.
Yeah,
People love to hear about, but we focus on getting in production first.
Right. So beyond that, tell us about the potential there.
So look, it's kind of we say it's rinse and repeat. 2017, we came to the old Tigre mine. I told you, big American mine, 1908 to 1930. They went home. Silver was 10 cents. That's 2 kilometers or 25. So if we look north, just a couple of kilometers, it's just a continuation of the vein. So the American mine that closed in 1930 was all that ore came out of high grade, 2.5 kilos average grade, was owned by a company called Lucky Tiger Mining Company. Pretty legitimate name for El Tigre.
Yeah.
They owned all the concessions to the north, the 2 or 3 kilometers, next 2 or 3. So basically they leased it to another mining company. I haven't talked much about this. North Tigre Mining Company, another real good name.
All right.
What they did is they built their own town, they built their own mill, and they built the North Tigre mine. So about 3 months ago, I said, guys, we've got this ready to go here. We're going to rebuild. Let's go the 2 or 3 kilometers north, and I unleashed the team. And we're doing exactly what we did in 2017 now there. But 1.6 kilometers of underground, we've been in it. We're mapping and sampling. It's like drill holes. We'll map that, and we'll get that ready so that we can start turning the drills on that in probably fourth quarter of this year, last quarter. Now, that's more of a brownfields because when we first got there in 17, I did send some drill rigs north. They said, let's just scope this out before we focused. We drilled, we put a press release out. People should look at it about 2 weeks ago. It's 8 or 9 pages. It lays out my exploration plan for the blue sky. That's brownfields. We've drilled holes up there, 18, 19, up to 10 kilos silver. So we think it's going to be very, very good. Drills will start turning. Going south, there were 3 more mines down there in the same time: Lluvia de Oro, La Mancha, and Toro. We've been in them, openings. It's greenfields there. We've been down there. We've mapped and sampled over the last couple of years. Early next year, we'll get down and do the same thing we're starting to do to the north, and I'll then have drill rigs there. You're talking about 18 kilometers of mineralization. But the 2 in the middle, where we've done all the work, that's my focus right now.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Focus. Okay, so lastly, we know silver stocks are doing well.
Yes.
Investors are looking around for ideas. What differentiates Silver Tiger, do you believe, from peers?
I think we're not trading in an overvalued amount. If you look at right now, we like to trade. You never want to backfill. You never want to get ahead of yourself. And as you're building something and developing it, if you're trying to promote a drill hole, I got 1 drill hole, we'll take it as far. Some guys will do that. So right now we're trading about 0.35 on the pit only of the NPV of that pit. That's a beautiful place for us to be as a development company. The next leg up will be, I'm permitted for the underground, and my amendment permit for the open pit, I think that's going to come very, very soon. I got to be careful what I say, but it's going to come very soon. To the point where the last 3 months, we've been spending a lot of money in all the work that we would probably have waited to get a permit for, the final engineering from Caps Cassidy, the final work from WSP, that's all done now. We've got a 3-month head start on the build of this open pit. So when I do get that permit amendment, there will be a re-rating, because usually when you are a developer and you get your permit, you trade at 0.5 or 0.6. So if you're looking at 0.35 or 4 now, we should naturally move up. And I'm not saying from the 80 cents we trade at now roughly, we go to $2. I'm not going to say that. But if we trade at 0.5 or 0.6, do I think we're going over $1? Yeah, I'm not predicting that. I'm just telling you how we look at it on valuation and how the value marks. So that's the next re-rating for us. We get that permit, and I think there's a re-rating there. The PEA will come out. Look, in my experience, preliminary economic assessments, I don't want to throw water on anybody's parade, but they never drive the stock 25 or 30%. It's a longer term process, but people start to say, wow, there is a long life underground mine of 10 or 20 years here. That's what we want to show. I think what people are going to get really excited about is when we start delivering, and I'm hoping I'm building by then, at the end of the year here, those first drill results from, you know, the next potential Tigre mine, like North Tigre mine to the north.
Right.
I think there's going to be some excitement there, but we'll see what happens as the year evolves. So that's it. 3 re-ratings coming, the permit, build it, the PEA, and then let's go look at that blue brownfields north and greenfield south. There's some blue skies. So I think we've got all we need for the next 10 or 20 years.
Glenn, if you were only passionate about all of this, then you'd really be onto something.
Thank you, Mark. I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
You have to be, because it's
Yeah.
hard. There's no overnight successes. These are 10 and 20-year projects. You better be passionate to make it through all of that.
Yeah,
And our team is.
Yeah, that was really great. A lot of great information. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Glenn.
Appreciate
Okay.
that. Great.
Yeah, no, just stick around. We're just to say goodbye here.
Oh.
That's Glenn. He's eager to go. He's on to something else
Say
now.
goodbye.
Glenn Jessome, President, CEO, Silver Tiger Metals.